And then I saw you post on Instagram on a page that Islam Makhachev is fighting in August. Is that true? And do you have an opponent for Islam yet?
Well, Ali was out there saying July, and yeah, it's August that we're looking at.
Is Conor McGregor fighting in July?
Possibly.
Do we have potential?
Nothing's done.
Okay. But is
nothing's even remotely close to being done.
Okay. But is that something you would look forward to doing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And Dana, just to piggyback off the Conor thing, are you more optimistic than before that Conor is going to fight? Because obviously it's been a couple of years.
I am.
Okay.
I am. I was pretty optimistic at the end of last year. So, end of last year, going into this year,
I'm happy with what I've done. We'll see. Greatness don't rush. You know, as a fighter, we've got to know our worth. I hold every pay-per-view record in the book. I hold every gate record in the book. And my comeback will be slated as the greatest comeback, or the biggest, most anticipated comeback of all time.
The master of good timing. The master of good timing. The beneficiary of the best timing in the history of the sport is Conor McGregor, because he is sitting there. He is sitting there as everything is kind of, I'm being dramatic here, kind of burning down. That meme of the dog and this is fine. He's kind of sitting there being like, all right, yep, I'm sitting pretty right now. Of course you want me back. And I'm telling you, we told you about the meeting 2 weeks ago. I told you it went well. PT told you it went well.
This moment perfectly illustrates Conor McGregor's commanding position and the sheer leverage he wields over the entire organization. He's displaying masterful timing, calmly observing as the UFC faces mounting challenges while forcing them to approach him hat in hand. This represents a fundamental power imbalance where McGregor exploits their desperation rather than engaging in genuine partnership negotiations. Dana White's acknowledgement that discussions progress smoothly reveals how completely he's abandoned his previous stance, swallowing his pride and capitulating to McGregor's demands after years of friction. This marks a dramatic erosion of Dana's authority and control, forcing him to negotiate from a position of weakness rather than dictating terms as he once did, representing a complete inversion of their traditional dynamic.
It'd be safe to say that it would be a disastrous situation. Something disastrous would have had to have happened if he's not fighting on July 11th. They need this now more than ever. They need Conor McGregor to be on this card. They need Conor to come back. They need the return of the Mac. They need the promo. They need the poster. They need the post. They need the social. They need all of that. They need people talking. They need people getting excited. They need this guy now more than ever. And they have to do everything in their power to make this happen. And I saw a clip. Let's play this clip of Max Holloway, because Max is...
The commentary reveals the UFC's absolute desperation through phrases like, "They need this guy now more than ever," and warnings of catastrophe if McGregor doesn't compete on July 11th. This language exposes how dangerously dependent the promotion has become on a single, unpredictable performer who operates entirely on his own terms. Their frantic urgency demonstrates how fragile their drawing power has become without McGregor's involvement. If Dana maintained genuine confidence in McGregor as a reliable partner, this level of pleading and dependency wouldn't exist. Instead, we're witnessing a purely transactional arrangement where McGregor serves as an uncertain lifeline for organizational survival rather than a collaborative partner building the sport's future.
When he says things. I saw this clip of Max Holloway over the weekend and I thought it said it all. Here it is.
Like I said, man, before the fight I was talking about it. I mean, Conor's there, you know. Conor got one over me. He's talking about coming back. I'm coming off a loss. I mean, it looked pretty fun to get down back, you know, with him. So this shit happens. I know a lot of people are worried about the weight and this and that, but if he doesn't want to cut weight, then I don't want to cut weight. We can do it at any weight, to be honest. It's just about getting it back, you know. So at the end of the day, that'll be a fun fight, but we see what happens. We see what way UFC wants to go, and that's all we can do, you know. Sign me up, man. If 55 is kind of busy right now, we don't know who to pit. I know Conor keep talking about coming back. That'll be a fun fight, you know. That fight really excites me. And
Max Holloway's public willingness to accommodate McGregor at any weight class represents a stunning acknowledgement of how completely McGregor operates outside traditional UFC structures. This flexibility abandons the divisional integrity that Dana previously defended as fundamental to the sport's credibility. When elite competitors like Holloway publicly offer such unprecedented concessions, it demonstrates McGregor's extraordinary leverage over the entire promotion. Dana's acceptance of this rule bending for one fighter while maintaining strict standards for everyone else represents a significant compromise of the established order he worked years to create. This public discussion itself reveals how dramatically the power structure has shifted away from organizational control.
Guy all the talk was, oh, you lost the belt. Charles isn't getting that Conor fight after that fight. I don't even think Conor wants a BMF title. I think Max is trying to tell us something there. And I would put him with Nate out. It feels to me like he's trying to tell us, like, this is what I want. And I don't think he's talking if things aren't happening behind the scenes. And so that's what I feel by reading all of this. But as PT said, and as I said, these talks are going well, and I think they're going well because
The analysis reveals this isn't collaborative negotiation between equals, but strategic capitulation by the UFC due to limited alternatives. Dana's willingness to accommodate virtually any demand, regardless of past conflicts or standard promotional protocols, exposes a profound shift in operational dynamics. Their desperate need for McGregor completely overrides any authority or control Dana might prefer to maintain over the situation. This represents an unmistakable signal that promotional power has shifted dramatically toward McGregor, indicating that whatever trust existed between them is either completely shattered or operating under tremendous strain, with Dana essentially pleading for participation while McGregor controls every aspect of negotiations.
Make this happen. And we'll get into the John Jones stuff in a second as well. But I feel like we're trending in the right direction to that return, and this will feel like, what will it feel like? What's the perfect example for feeling good about life? Like, it'll feel like what? Like what is it? A Mai Tai on the beach?
Yeah,
What will it
kind of feels like
day.
Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United at that time. I know that didn't go well, but
No.
I mean, when he came back,
That one
kind of
wasn't that a
was-
disaster? I guess maybe, yeah. No.
Oh, you think he's gonna beat Max?
Return of the Mac. No, at 170? Interesting. Conor ain't going down to 55. There was once a time where we were worried about Max at 55. Remember that?
The subtle reference to Cristiano Ronaldo's problematic Manchester United return serves as a telling warning sign beneath the optimistic surface rhetoric. While attempting to project confidence about trending in the right direction, this analogy hints at deep skepticism about whether McGregor's comeback will deliver on its massive promises or potentially create more problems than solutions. If Dana possessed unwavering faith in McGregor's commitment and focus, such allusions to potential failure wouldn't surface in conversations. The emphasis on McGregor competing at 170 pounds without weight cuts further illustrates him dictating terms while Dana accepts these conditions that other fighters would never receive.
I feel like we've been kind of talking about it, but I think the significant reality is, let's say Conor McGregor is coming back in July. That is fantastic for the UFC, no doubt in my mind. But I think the bigger issue, rather than card construction, rather than who's headlining, is ticket prices.
Oh, yeah.
The prices of these cards are not commensurate with what they're delivering. And I don't think you can solve that just... The Conor McGregor ticket prices are going to be astronomical. And the UFC is going to try to capitalize on Conor McGregor's return in a way that is pricing out fans who just want to come and watch UFC events, want to come and...
The focus on astronomical ticket pricing over actual fight quality reveals the UFC's purely transactional approach to McGregor's return. Their explicit strategy to capitalize on his comeback by pricing out longtime loyal supporters demonstrates a short-term profit mentality rather than sustainable growth planning. This heavy reliance on one star to justify inflated costs rather than cultivating genuine fan loyalty suggests Dana views McGregor primarily as revenue generation rather than a trusted partner in long-term sport development. Such blatant exploitation can only erode whatever trust remains between promoter and asset, transforming potential partnership into pure economic calculation focused on immediate revenue maximization.
Problem was necessarily that, like, people didn't want to show out for Lerone Murphy or MVP or anybody else who was on this card. The problem is that they were too expensive for the people that truly wanted to go. And I don't think this is a new thing for the UFC. I'm talking to people who are in this local area, who I know very well, who are interested in going to the New Jersey card, and the ticket prices are too high for them to go. I don't know if just stacking the deck...
It's a WWE problem too. I'm hearing about this in WWE, right? With WrestleMania tickets and whatnot. People are complaining about this, so...
It seems to be across the board, and I don't know that Conor McGregor solves that problem. He solves the problem of, is this going to feel like a big...
The core problem isn't lack of interest in fighters or matchmaking quality, but rather prohibitive attendance costs that exclude regular fans from events. McGregor's return addresses spectacle and buzz generation, but completely ignores the fundamental accessibility issues affecting the fan base. This reveals Dana's strategy of leveraging McGregor's star power for temporary solutions rather than addressing systemic problems. If genuine trust existed between them, McGregor might be empowered to help bridge fan relationships meaningfully, instead of serving as a band-aid for pricing issues that will persist after his fight, highlighting reliance on short-term fixes over sustainable relationship building.
But are the people that are going to be in that arena the crowd that you're looking for to be in that arena? I don't know. The answer is going to be yes.
I'll tell you where the tickets are pretty cheap. Zuffa Boxing at the Apex. Now that's I don't even know what the tickets are there, but I feel like.
Are you sure? I actually don't know.
I have no idea. I have no
It's
idea.
a great point. It's a great point Rick made. I've been hearing a lot about that, and I can remember, again, to reference that card in 2022, Aspinall v Volkov, the first one after COVID. Chisanga Malata was on the show talking to me about, like, first time I went to a UFC event, it cost me 20 quid to go to the Brawl in the Hall, and now it's like 300 quid.
The dramatic evolution from $20 tickets to $300 events represents a fundamental shift in organizational values and priorities. This aggressive pricing strategy actively alienates the grassroots supporters who built the sport's foundation from its earliest days. If Dana trusted McGregor as a unifying figure who connects with everyday fans, he would create accessible and affordable event experiences. Instead, McGregor is being used to justify exclusive high-cost experiences that exclude regular supporters, further eroding trust between the promotion, its biggest star, and the core audience that made everything possible, reflecting pure profit pursuit over fan-base preservation.
You know what I mean? To go and see this event. But you could kind of justify it based on all the buzz that was around that card. I don't think that the ticket prices have changed all that much for that card. You know? Like, it's just people wanting to go to be at a UFC event rather than people going like, oh, I can't wait to see the Luke Riley fight, or I can't wait to see Lerone stake his claim at this title.
UFC has always been the thing. Hey, we're in town, we're going to the event. Matchroom doesn't even have that in England to that degree, right? Like it's UFC and WWE.
Show, right?
UFC and WWE are the only ones. Hey, we're in town, we're going to the event regardless of who's on the card.
That's fair,
and you're losing some of that. I know our guy Dana was looking at tickets for Newark. Did you get a chance to look at those tickets?
The observation that UFC events no longer draw audiences regardless of card composition represents a damning indictment of current management strategies. Dana's heavy dependence on McGregor to generate interest and drive sales exposes fundamental problems with organizational direction and roster development. This over-reliance on a single unpredictable superstar who competes infrequently reveals a deep lack of confidence in the broader fighter roster and sport appeal under current leadership. Using star power to compensate for other shortcomings rather than focusing on product integrity or developing multiple attractions indicates significant erosion of the comprehensive trust Dana once commanded for the UFC brand itself.
On Ticketmaster, it looks like the cheapest one that I could find was $400.
Wow, like all the way in the rafters, huh?
Yeah. So it's not as expensive as I was expecting.
Okay.
However, in 2021, I went to UFC 268, and my ticket was like $300. That same ticket now is at least $700 to $800. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The concrete inflation numbers are absolutely devastating when examining the actual financial impact on fans. Comparable seating that cost $300 in 2021 now demands $700 to $800 just a few years later. This aggressive pricing strategy, even for McGregor's anticipated return, signals short-term profit obsession rather than long-term fan loyalty investment or genuine star partnership. If Dana truly trusted McGregor as a consistent draw and sport ambassador who values supporters, he would prioritize event accessibility so more people could witness his performances rather than exploit his popularity for potentially damaging maximum revenue that could ultimately backfire and damage relationships.